Did you hear that? Hello, guys.
I hear you.
Welcome to Main Event Boxing Talk. How are you, Tom?
I'm doing exceedingly well, Nathan. How are you?
All right, yeah. I'm just waiting for Spencer to connect, for his audio to connect. Right,
Yeah, we want him to connect.
We will fire off with the news that Manny Pacquiao has retired. What a career!
Do I believe it that he will stay retired? What if he loses the presidency?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, it's a different matter. Anyway, Spencer's here. Hello, Spencer.
What's going on?
How you doing?
Hey, Spencer.
What's up, y'all? Yo, my phone.
Right. So
I gotta
Spencer,
keep it on the charger while I'm talking.
sorry. Okay. What's your view on Manny Pacquiao retiring?
He had a great career. I mean, you know, it was inevitable. He might as well do it now. He put up a decent fight again in his last outing, but he lost. And kudos to the Hall of Famer. Surefire first ballot Hall of Famer. So
Yeah,
I agree with that for sure. But what if he loses the election? Do you think he'll fight another fight?
would he still be able to be? He still will be senator, right? Or does it work differently in the Philippines?
It depends. He can probably continue being senator, or he may have to give up the seat to run and then get reelected again.
Yeah.
But not sure. I'm sure he'll want to stay in politics because he wants to help people. But I think if he doesn't win this election, he may just do another fight or do an exhibition or something and make some money.
Yeah, I was going to say he might do some exhibitions, but I mean, if he goes and really fights, Manny Pacquiao is good, but I'm not sure he's where people want to see him in a mismatch. You understand? Like how much he would sell if it's a clearly mismatched fight. Like I don't think he could do what Floyd does and really be content. Like he can't fight a kickboxer. I don't think he'll do that. He might fight Conor. He might fight Conor or somebody like that, but
okay.
Yeah, I mean, just think about it. You're the president of your country. You want to go out and box for money? I mean, he was really pushing it as a senator.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Let's move on because we don't want to. Yeah, sort of. Right. Joe Smith Jr.'s fight has been KO'd because of the COVID. He's cancelled the fight.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And
it's too bad.
Yeah.
It's too bad. I don't think they have a date yet. I think they're just worrying about Joe getting over this. The rescheduled fight, it says, will be announced soon.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. Say that again?
He has a bad case? Like he has.
It didn't say.
Okay.
He has COVID.
Okay.
That's all it says. So it doesn't say how bad he has it.
We will move on because we've got quite a bit to cover, like with stuff. Riddick Bowe, I'll just briefly go on. Riddick Bowe will not be fighting Lamar Odom next month. It's the boxing
thank God.
Yeah, as a result of Holyfield's performance, which I found that hard to swallow. I felt bad for boxing and I felt bad for him.
First of all, what were they doing? Actually, it wasn't even an exhibition.
Just a 3 or 4 round fight.
It was it was an 8th round fight, I think.
But the Holyfield fight, right?
Yeah, Lamar Odom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a legitimate fight.
Which is embarrassing because Lamar Odom was in a coma a few years ago, former NBA fighter who probably can't fight. And then you've got a 55-year-old guy who can't even walk properly. Come on. Where does it stop?
Riddick Bowe clearly has brain damage.
Oh,
he's brain damaged.
He does. He is punch drunk like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a fiasco. That's a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah. And
as far as
carry on.
Say that again. No, I was going to say, as far as Holyfield, it wasn't so much Belfer Holyfield's legs are shot.
Exactly.
I mean, you know, he tripped twice. His balance was bad. He was slow. He was wide open. That should have never been a fight. That should have just been an exhibition. He would have been better off fighting.
Mike Tyson should have took Holyfield up on that third fight so he could have had a victory under his belt.
Well, not that. They probably would have just said it was a draw, but Tyson would have gone easy on him.
Can I be honest? Would Tyson beat Belfort? He wouldn't, would he?
What you say? Tyson would not beat Belfort?
Yeah, would he? I mean, really?
Oh, yeah.
He would have thought so. But doesn't this look bad? I mean, I knew Holyfield was shot, but this just put into perspective what good shape Mike Tyson's in, you know, mentally. What do you think, Spencer?
Yeah.
Don't hold back. Don't hold back.
Yeah, all them old guys, man. Like Roy Jones versus Mike Tyson wasn't bad, but that kind of like that shouldn't have been as good as it wasn't a good fight. So please hear me properly. It shouldn't have been such a good fight because it piqued the interest of other old guys who wanted to come back in the ring. Roy Jones and Mike Tyson didn't get hurt. They win 8 rounds, so maybe we could do this, but they can't do that.
Yeah, well, Tyson was definitely not unloading as hard as he could, but he was fast.
He definitely was taking it easy on Roy Jones.
Yeah,
I could Shannon Briggs versus Mike Tyson.
Tyson loses that, in my opinion. Briggs is not as shot as those guys. He's not brain damaged like those guys. He's nowhere near as damaged, and he's in better shape than those guys, or he was.
Yeah, he might be able to win. Briggs might be able to win.
What is he now?
I think Tyson is faster than Briggs at this point.
Yeah.
And you know, Briggs PED'd out too.
Yeah, Briggs to try to go for the knockout if he, but
I don't think that would be smart.
No, he ain't always the best smartest fighter in the ring, but that's what he does. That's what he ain't gonna try to go to distance because he probably can't last 3 rounds.
I don't want to see Lennox Lewis come back. I mean, for me, that would be the ultimate terrible thing. Or if Vladimir comes back, could you imagine if Vladimir came back?
They floated the idea of Tyson versus LL. I mean, Lennox Lewis.
Well, the December 3rd they're talking about.
But Lewis does not look in shape. He doesn't look like a man who's kept himself fit out of the gym. I'm being honest. And also, if George Foreman were to come back, that would be terrible. Come on.
George Foreman?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He's too old. He's 70, isn't he? He's too old.
Oh, no. George Foreman, it doesn't need
better
the money.
Than come back in the ring.
As far as David Haye, I think, what the fuck was that? David Haye would, if he was to fight Tyson, he'd beat Tyson, obviously, because of the age difference.
Yeah.
You think? I don't know about
I think
that.
he would beat Mike Tyson.
With these guys not really fighting and stuff, I don't know. Like they're gonna have the same amount of time to get ready. It ain't like David Haye is in the gym.
No, but he keeps himself in shape. And he's got too much energy for this guy. He's basically, not that long retired, he's not old. But in terms of his injuries, he's probably more like Mike Tyson with the injuries he's had, I suppose. You could say that. It levels it out.
Well, let me say this. Look at the interest that's being generated in this conversation about who should fight who and whatnot. But the general public, after this thing with Holyfield, I mean, how much of this nonsense could we put up with and pay for?
Not much more. How long before somebody dies? As well, I'm not being funny.
No, you're not being funny because it could happen in any time in a fight. People die.
Yeah, the thing about boxing, it's a sport where you can actually, like, if you got a grudge and you got like a little bit of a name, you can go in the ring and it'll draw interest. That's how them YouTube stars, started getting interest. They had a following. They had a little rivalry with another one, and they were like, "Yo, let's just box and get in the ring." And they charge people, and people saw interest in that.
I guess we should move on because we've got
those are the people that should be doing it that aren't like real professionals. If it's not going to be the professional boxers, then it could be those guys because nobody could really be taking that serious. But
Right,
them old guys
right.
and them past the prime guys, they better stop that before they die.
That's right.
We're right.
You want to talk about the Canelo Plant?
Yeah,
fiasco?
that was hilarious. That was hilarious. What do you think, guys?
Well, I don't know how much of it may have been staged or not, but it looked like Canelo lost control and maybe Plant got under his skin, but he cut Plant, which is not good before a big fight.
That was crazy.
Plant got a cut. Well, yeah, that was too much. And why weren't there people there to stop that? You know? So I don't know, man. To me, that was unprofessional.
Okay. Anyway, we must move on.
Neither one of those guys was really one that stirred up problems at a press conference. So it wasn't like they was expected. It's not like it was a Mike Tyson press conference or a Derek Chisora press conference where they gotta, these guys got reputations of, stirring the pot or something. So let's make sure we got like extra security or be on.
Well, yeah, but Spencer, Canelo did that with GGG in the second fight. He pushed him like that.
He pushed him like that?
Yeah, because he called him a drug cheat. And he called Andrade a motherfucker, and now he's upset because he says Plant called him a motherfucker. Yeah. I mean, what is this guy's deal?
I don't know. Canelo, I don't know what's up with Canelo.
I don't know. But anyway, it should be a good fight.
Yeah.
It could be mentally. This is maybe I'm reaching for straws here, but he doesn't have his safety net in Oscar anymore.
Okay.
He's kind of on his own, and he sees things aren't really going exactly the way he thinks they should be going when he was under Oscar and all of that. And it might be a little bit more hard on him because he doesn't have that security, that management helping him out. So, maybe he's, a little frustrated with that. Because he got to go from network to network and shop fights. He was supposed to fight in September.
Right, we must move on.
He couldn't fight. Now he got
right.
Okay.
Okay, what do you want to talk about now?
Adrian Broner has rejected two offers to fight Conor Benn, as he should reject them, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
Yeah, he probably wants a certain amount of money, and they're not giving it to him.
Yeah.
Conor Benn ain't. Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of. What do you think, Spencer?
He gets paid a certain amount, and they ain't giving it to him.
That's bottom line, and I think he would outbox Conor Benn.
Why would Adrian Broner, a man who's had the career he had, want to lose to an upstart like that? I'm not saying he would, but why would he want that? Wouldn't look good on him. I don't think Conor Benn beats Adrian Broner right now anyway.
No, it's a touchy fight.
Conor is learning, and he's been overhyped. He's just got good matchmaking. That's all it is, in my opinion. He's talented, but he's very young. He's still got years to develop.
The matches they've been making, they good matchmaking, as you said, but it's one better than the last one. They doing it exactly what they should be doing. And like they matching them a little bit better the next time than the last time.
Yeah, Granados is a good fight. Granados has a good record, but this is not the same Granados that nearly beat Broner 4 years ago, is it?
No, but still, I mean, he won the fight. He won the fight, but he was taking shots he shouldn't have taken. It was too aggressive.
Me, I don't think he's going to go much further. I mean, if he does win a world title, it will be only for a vacant belt against some guy at the bottom of the ranking. That's the only way I can see him getting a world title. Do you guys agree with that?
We'll have to see. I mean, it depends on how he trains and if he could correct some of the mistakes. He has the aggression. He's a good puncher. If they match him well, he could maybe wind up with one of the titles.
We must move on anyway.
It is another story.
We must move on. Spencer put up some.
Wallen and Whyte.
No, Spencer put up something about a WBA welterweight tournament.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
Spencer, would you care to elaborate?
I read that.
So what happened? I'm sorry, say that again.
The WBA mini tournament that the WBA have ordered for the welterweight belt.
Who's supposed to be fighting? Ugas is supposed to be
Stantonis.
and for
Jamal
the
James
girl.
versus Butaev.
Okay, right. Yeah.
And then the
Ugas,
winners fight.
right. Ugas should be, but I gotta see how he gonna go against his first fight. I mean, this, the first fight in the tournament. Stansonis, I'm trying to remember how he looks. What's his style like?
He's not
And if
too
he
bad.
could get
He's nothing special.
Because then Ugas already beat Jamal James or something.
Yeah.
He last had a no decision against Collazo, and he beat Delorme, which Delorme was a decent fighter. He never lived up to his promise. He doesn't have a lot. He's 13 with 9 KOs. So Ugas is a much more skilled fighter than this guy. So Ugas should be able to take him.
What's it called? Supposed to be fighting Delorme soon. Deron Ennis, I think, or is it Ortiz?
Ortiz.
One of them.
I don't know actually. Probably. Let's see, Ennis. Let me see. Deron Ennis. Who he's fighting next? He's let's see. Supposed to be. It doesn't say. He beat Lipinets last, right? Back in April.
Right. I wouldn't
And he
think,
KO'd him.
Delorme would be a before Lipinets, but hey.
Right, guys, we must move on.
No,
We've still got stuff to cover.
Okay.
Dillian Whyte against, just very quickly, against, will be fighting Otto Wallen, which to me is not a good choice of opponent, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
I agree.
Otto
I
or for
agree.
Dylan?
Definitely.
It's a bad fight. It's got loss written all over it. Wallen is very dangerous. I think
For Whyte.
Underestimated him.
Yeah, I don't rate Dillian Whyte highly skilled or anything, but I will give him heart, yo. He will fight the guys that a lot of people might not fight because they might give him a hard fight before I get my title shot. So I definitely.
I know you don't rate Dillian, but he can't be that bad if he's got as far as he's got. I know it's good matchmaking mainly, but.
Well, Wallen is very durable, as we saw against Tyson Fury.
I do believe that there's about, in that top 10, out of that top 10 fighters in the world, the top 50 fighters, Dillian I could only get him beating about 5 or 6 of the top 15 guys in the world. I think it's about 9 or 10 of the guys that are better than him, to put it in perspective.
I mean, considering he beat Parker.
Barely.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was barely.
He beat Chisora twice. He came back with I mean,
he's been dropped and hurt by everybody he's ever fought in the last 7, 8 fights or knocked out.
Yeah, he got heart. Like I said, he got heart.
Yeah, he's got heart.
And he has punch.
He's got a good left hook. His punch resistance isn't good anymore.
What's his record against southpaws? Because Wallen's a southpaw and he's taller.
I don't think. It's all right. He's always struggles against guys like that because he's slow and he's there to be hitting. So if you're fighting someone who's as edgy as a southpaw, there's a chance he could get knocked out in this. So I'm not being funny. Yeah, I don't like his chances. I think he'll just about do enough.
Well, he's going to have to get that right hand over straight to reach him and then throw the left hook.
Right. Anyway,
we're moving on. Parker versus Derek Chisora.
Just very quickly.
Do we really want to see that again?
No, I don't. What about you?
I don't even know why they're running it back.
Yeah, because people thought that Chisora won and the English fans want to see it, right, Nathan?
I don't want to see this fight again.
Why would they should have matched Joe Joyce versus Joseph Parker?
Yeah, but you know why they won't do that, don't you? Yeah.
Hold on one second.
Joe's too dangerous. Joe's too dangerous. What's that? Joe's too dangerous. I mean, sorry. Joyce is too dangerous. Joyce probably.
For who? Joseph Parker?
Yeah, he beats Parker in my opinion. Yeah, does he not?
Joe
It's
Joyce?
possible, but I don't think that Joseph Parker's team is worried about a loss or nothing.
Well, I got to say this. The Joseph Parker that I saw fight Anthony Joshua, I haven't seen since.
Right.
I don't
Exactly.
know what
That's
is
4 years
going
ago.
on with this guy. He was talented, strong. He was
got
willing
that-
to get inside. Now
He
he's
got
just.
that $10 million. He got that $10 million for fighting Anthony Joshua.
So you don't need to fight again.
It's crazy.
Because there's no way he should have did what he did against Chisora or Dylan Whyte. He should not have looked like that against either one of them. He's much, in my
Better
opinion,
than that, yeah.
he's better than Dylan White.
Of course
And
he is. He is. I agree.
Had his better days way past him, so he should have been able to really
But
cruise
the
past
problem with Joseph is that he's only just turned 30, or he's 29. He's coming up to 30. He's very young in terms of heavyweight. So
He should be peaking. He should be in his peak
I
now.
think his peak
Right.
has been gone. His
I
peak has
think
been
he
gone
already peaked. He did. We seen him at his best already.
when he won the world title against Ruiz. Yeah, it's gone.
Unless, I mean, there's one other thing that can happen. He can just say, "I need a whole new team," and he like refocuses and trains differently, or have a new training squad, and maybe 2 or 3 fights you could see a difference in how he approaches the inside the ring.
Yeah.
Let's
I do believe that Chisora is obviously past his sell by that. We know that. He trains hard, but it's not going to be enough. I mean, for me, Parker won the first fight because Chisora let it slip away. That's all it was. And I don't think Joe was really trying his best anyway, like he should have been, not been training right. But because he's got an anyway, we'll move on to the Usyk Joshua fight. Like, who wants to start talking about this first? Who wants to start?
I'll say something about it. I think it's an intriguing fight. I don't think Usyk has the power to hang with Anthony. Anthony's becoming a better boxer, I've noticed over his past few fights. So it's going to be up to Usyk to get in there and score. And he's going to have to pay a price if he does that. So I'm thinking that this will be a good match. Usyk is a great fighter, a great boxer. But I think Anthony is going to be able to control him and win a decision, if not KO him, if he gets him in trouble. Spencer, what do you think?
Yeah, I couldn't have said those words any better.
Yeah. What about you, Nathan?
Stoppage or something.
I think Joshua wins up in split decision. I think this fight is going to be close. You look I saw them in the face-off. There's only an inch in height between them. Joshua's lost a lot of weight. Usyk's put a weight on. That levels it out, because I think this fight is a harder fight than the Ruiz fight. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, then tell me.
He lost weight for the second fight with
Ruiz,
what's his name? Andy.
Yeah.
Andy Ruiz. And it proved to be okay because he was lighter. He had more speed. He was able to get out of things. But there's no way Usyk packs the punch that Andy Ruiz.
Oh, no, not at all.
And he's going to be on his bicycle trying to score points and to stay out of range. And he's not going to take the heavyweight title like that. Not from Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
He's going to get hit. Joshua has the speed and he has the reach and he has the power to keep him respectable.
Yeah, he does. But he needs, I mean, for me, if he starts doing it like a chess match for the whole 12 rounds, then he's playing Usyk's game. He's got to play his own game, which is break him down over 8 or 9 rounds and go for the knockout.
I think you're right. I think that's exactly what he's going to do.
But he could probably piss about for about 3 or 4 rounds, keep it on the outside, then go in the 5th, 6th round, start hitting him. Usyk will feel it. But if he chooses to box the way he did against Ruiz, he's pushing it. What do you think, Spencer?
Yeah, I would tell AJ, just throw your punches at Usyk, even if he got his guards up. Don't punch him in the arm, punch him in the shoulder, punch him everywhere, because your punches are going to affect him, and it's going to be able to neutralize his assets. Him being able to move, because he's going to get tired. It's going to tire him out. Keep getting hit like that. He's not going to be able to be mobile and be able to be a counter puncher effectively. So
Hit him high on the head, hit him in the arms, like
Yep.
Marciano used to do.
Yep. Hit him everywhere.
Yeah,
Hit him everywhere.
anywhere and everywhere. Hit him in the elbow.
Does this fight remind you guys of anything?
Hit him everywhere.
This fight, right? Does this fight remind you of a fight that took place 10 years ago? It has similarities with a certain Mr. Hay and a certain Klitschko. Can you guys see the similarities here a little bit?
Well, yeah, I do. I can understand that.
But that's what the similarities.
Remember with David Hay, David Hay had a bad toe. It's like, come on.
But that's where the similarities end, because Usyk is better than what Hay was, in my opinion. And Joshua is better than what Klitschko was at that point in his career, because Klitschko, had peaked by this, in my opinion.
Well, that was then.
Wait,
this is now.
so wait.
It's going to be a good fight,
Hold on.
I think.
Was Klitschko ever better than when he fought Hay?
Oh, he was.
I mean, he's better just before that, I'd say. He reached his peak about 2010. When he fought Hay, he wasn't the same Klitschko we knew that fought Tyson. That, for me, he kind of peaked, and that was it in 2011. But the competition he fought wasn't up to standard, apart from Povetkin. After he fought Povetkin, it was over for me. He fought all the easy guys then. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, here's the deal. It's just this, he's going to have to be the best fight he's ever fought to beat AJ. He's going to have to be that good. And if you look at what he's done in the past couple of fights, he ran. He was running.
He ran against Chisora and he ran against what's his face. But I just think Joshua's going to have too much. It'll either be a knockout, or a decision win. But I'm going for the decision, because if Joshua doesn't have to get him out there, he won't. I mean, if he gets him out of there, he will, obviously. But if he can't, then he'll just box him, won't he? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I've never been so torn with a fight in a long time.
Well, I think we talked about this one. I think it's interesting. What do you think of Okolie versus Prasovic?
Don't know, because I've never seen this other guy fight. I've seen his card. I've looked at his list of opponents, and he doesn't look anything special. What do you think, Spencer?
I think Okolie should get that.
Yeah, Prasovic is a good puncher, though, but I think you're right. Okolie should take it. And then we have Smith at light heavyweight for the first
10 rounds,
right?
10 rounds, yeah.
That should be fun. See how he wants Canelo again at light heavyweight.
Oh, no. No.
Who is he fighting?
Somebody called
Lenin Castillo. You ever hear of Lenin Castillo? You ever hear of him?
I've seen the name before. I think I've seen him fight somebody.
All right. Well, I'll give you a little update on him. His name is. He's got a record of 21 and 3 losses and 1 draw. He lost to Bivol on a unanimous decision back in October of 2019.
I think that was the fight I seen him in. That's the name.
And he fought Marcus Brown and lost the unanimous decision. And Joe Williams lost the majority decision.
I might have seen him too.
Yeah, so nothing here bodes of him beating Smith.
There's one good thing here. There's one good thing. This guy isn't Mexican. If he was Mexican, he'd probably win, because we know all the British fighters lose to Mexicans. We all know that.
But he's not Mexican. He's not.
Oh, I know he's from the Dominican Republic. Thank God. Thank God.
Okay.
Yeah. It don't seem like y'all could beat them guys south of the border.
No, they can't. They can't.
Why do you think that is?
To do with the makeup of the fighters. What about you, Spencer? Because you know it better.
I think it's the style matchups.
Yeah, it's a different kind of fighting. I think these guys, the way they fight, the Mexican style. It's it's all or nothing with a lot of these guys. They go all out.
And a lot of the British fighters, they kind of box.
Yeah.
They have that fundamental stuff. And I guess the Mexicans, they just keep pressuring. They keep pressuring, body attack, and they just keep putting constant pressure on you. If you're not ready for it, Messes you up.
Right.
Next on the card is an unbeaten American guy called Christopher Orsley against a guy called Kassan. I can't pronounce his name, but he lost to what's his face? Lost to Rob Brandt when Rob Brandt was champion a few years ago.
I'm not that familiar with this guy.
He comes from Russia. He's nothing special. Rob Brandt stopped him in 5 rounds. I don't know about the American guy too much. I've never seen him fight, but he's a prospect by the looks of it.
Now, which one is this? Maxime Prodan? What's the name of this guy?
No. The next fight is Maxi Prodan against Florin Marku, but both guys are not that good. Florin Marku is an Albanian fighter who is so overrated that he nearly lost. He's terrible.
They're fighting for titles with these records of 8-0 and 1 draw. It's crazy.
Well, it's a joke.
I mean, what?
They fight for.
It's how boxing is now.
I don't know. It says we're
How we
making
having a
World Boxing
discussion, right?
Association.
IBF International.
I was having a discussion online, right, on the issues with boxing, right? And I was saying that boxing, if the rules that the organizations have written down outside of that selection committee could override the rules, every other rule is a sensible enough rule. You know what I mean? Like, you got to fight your mandatory. If you're not a heavyweight, you got to fight your mandatory every 9 months. You get a voluntary in between if you want to, but it got to be approved and it got to be a ranked guy. Like, there's certain things that make sense, but then it's the ability for all of these committees to override the rules that's written so that they can make a fight that they deem makes more sense or is better for boxing, so to speak. But,
or makes more money for their sanctioning fees.
That's what all of that other stuff means, is makes more money for them. But
here we are again. There it is.
Well, we've got.
But
sorry.
I wanted to say something about the Mexican fighters that come to England. I think Orlando Solido should go over there and become a coach, because to me, Orlando Solido was one of the most effective, dirtiest, guttiest fighters to come out of Mexico in a long time.
Yeah.
I remember when Lomachenko fought him and he was fouling him left and right, and Lomachenko lost the decision. I remember when he fought Mikey Garcia and he intentionally headbutted him to get out of the fight so they could stop the fight. Yeah. Orlando Solido is one of the toughest, dirtiest fighters I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen a bunch of dirty fighters, that'll hit you on the hips, hit you low, hit you with an elbow, give you a thumb, butt you, and he was so good at it. He should go over there and start training some of these.
Before we go, there's one last fight on this card, and this Matthew Hatton lad. No amateur experience. He shouldn't really be on this stage. He should be having his fights on small hall shows in England, not fighting on big pay-per-views. How can he can't learn in front of people?
But ain't he like the first fighter?
Yeah, one of the first.
I don't even know if a lot of people, I know in America, those guys don't really get that much attention because not that many people in the stand.
But in England, Hatton gets too much attention because of who he's related to. He's got talent, but he needs to be able to develop away from the spotlight, in my opinion. If you put someone like him on a small horse show, where there's not so many fights, it's a small show, he can develop away from the big cameras, It's not fair to put someone like him like that in the spotlight like that. It's the same as
didn't they do that? Didn't they do that with Conor Benn?
They did it with Conor Benn
and the other guy.
Chris Eubank Jr.
You can't they're following the same thing.
Yeah, but it's like they've been put in that position because of what their name is. Conor Benn has always said he wants to be there because he's got the talent, not because of his dad was. But he said his dad did open doors. What do you think of this, Spencer? We've got 2 minutes left.
I mean, again, we know part of the reason why they even get in recognition is because of their name. We know that. But they are.
Yeah.
In Ben's case, he is winning. And as I said earlier, he's fighting a better fighter each time up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's doing okay. they might be trying to think like, okay, if Ben could do it, let's see if Hatton could do it. Sink or swim.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but
Well, look at Ali's grandson. It's the same thing.
yeah, it's not right. I just don't think it's right. People should be there because of their merit, what they've done.
But it's about money.
I know it
People
is. I know
will
it is.
tune in to see them. That's
I know
what
it
it's
is.
about.
Look, I'm enjoying watching Ali and the lot. I'm watching it, but I'm thinking I'm not expecting anything from them. You know, let's just be realistic about it. Connor is turning into a good fighter. Eubanks, fringe level, you know, he's doing all right. Well, anyway, we've run out of time now.
Hey, it's great talking to you guys.
Right,
Yeah,
we'll be
man,
back.
it's been a minute.
Do you guys want to
I
do
gotta start
this?
doing it again.
We got to come on after the fight, after Saturday.
Okay. What time will it be? What time will that be?
Oh, we didn't talk about Tio canceling out on the date.
Let's. Do you want to do another show? Do you want me to set up another show now? Quickly.
No, I actually gotta start getting ready, get my wife. You know, I gotta take my wife to work and all of that. So,
Speak to you.
right.
Well, I'll message you on Saturday to talk about. We'll come on live after the fight or whatever. Okay.
All right.
All right.
no doubt.
Thank you, Nathan.
Good
Good night.
night. Bye. Bye.